Or 3 talents.
I've got an idea.
Yep.
100 talents, we build the best wizard tower ever.
And you're fired.
So you can begin to allot your money, and I don't have these characteristics really well defined, but you should have training facilities for different
different types of combats.
Yeah.
So Magnus,
if you do it along the lines
decide,
of like healing, martial, wizard stuff, that's probably a good place to start. It could also be how good you are at running the business, how much you know about other gladiatorial, like how your basically your information network or like your bribing ability.
I think we should make a matrix across skills, similar to how we have all your base.
Yep.
Magnus. Well, hold on.
So,
Ashoka.
Given that this is like a campaign where we're going to figure out things as we go, we may not get it right the first time around, but you're given 100 talents to make mistakes with. So, go ahead. Tell me what it is that your ludis facilities are.
1 sec. Magnus putting a stop. He's like, hold on a second. I'd like to see the other facilities and the other ludises as well. I need to know what they've got prepared, what they're doing. It'll give us an indication of what we'll be fighting, perhaps.
I doubt very much it's just going to let you waltz in and have a look.
We could sell you to one, then you'll get a good look.
Oh, very good.
You're fucking funny. Either funny or stupid. Listen, you
good.
can see it from a distance. All I need to see is the structures. If it's outside, if it's outdoors, maybe that'll give me enough. If it's indoors, obviously it's a problem.
All right.
Can we find out where they are and we can take a look?
So
basically, Magnus says
there are some categories.
spy.
There's facilities. There's the master that could actually help with the facility, and then there's personnel that you could apply to a facility itself. So you could have the best training area ever, but no trainer to run it.
All right.
All right, let us first consider we don't know what kind of gladiators we're going to get. If we focus on martial, that's all great, but if we end up with a bunch of sorcerers and wizards, we'll have nothing we can do with them.
We should have basic facilities for all of the major disciplines.
Agreed.
Additionally, we should have facilities for crafting, looking to...
Thank you. I will need a lab. I will need a forge.
As well as the facilities required for making certain we're well informed of what we will be fighting.
Okay.
I will leave that to you.
Enters Sid.
In the first week of you guys being there, as you're deciding and planning, it appears that you've received a gift
Foxfire.
from another gladiatorial ludus.
Ooh.
Give me a
Giving us
D3.
smallpox blankets.
Give me a D3. Low is wealth, high is okay. Let's see who is trying to be friendly to the newcomers. NPCs, Vaddapol, minor stables. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Guild of Beast Tamers.
Bull.
They sent a kitten.
No, they send you a gift of they heard about you training a bull to ride, and they were excited about that.
Cool.
They send you a gift saying they said we look forward to seeing your bull trample horses. Please make good use of this gift from the Guild of Beast Tamers, and they give you an amulet of mighty fists +1.
That's awesome. That's not a cheap gift. That's a very generous gift.
Oh,
Is it one of those lesser ones that are meant only for animals, or is it
like a chicken or something?
We shall have to send a thank you card.
Just Christ. Here, take our alchemist.
Oh, you're funny. Ha 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 ha.
You also receive what is considered a threat from the ludus called the Sea God's Fury. You receive half a dozen dead cow heads that are thrown over the walls, and you're pretty sure the cow heads are diseased.
There's the smallpox blankets.
The cow heads have the trident that is the symbol of the Sea God's Fury kind of branded into their heads, and that's your welcome from the Sea God's Fury.
Should we mention that the last
drink
time
on them and have a feast?
last time remove disease you'd have to?
I think it's
Whereas
purify.
dead, it'd be pure. I don't know.
Purify
But we
food
could
and
just
water, we
let
can
them
have a
know that
snack.
the last time we fought on water, we just beat ass.
Rotten, spoiled, diseased, or poisoned, otherwise contaminated food becomes suitable for eating and drinking.
So
you make a show of having cowhead barbecue, and eating the disease rotten flesh is a thing that we are doing for them to know.
Okay.
The skin is crispy. It's delicious.
God damn, I love spreadsheets. Yeah, so this is basically the ludus. Do I have it at a high enough resolution? No. Let me make
This is
All right. So
which tab is this, Marty?
I'm on the
I
roster and schedule. I was just filling in one of your
yeah, I'm looking at the facilities and
Oh, okay.
resources. I think we need a stable in here.
Yes, you need a stable.
Yeah. So
Okay, where the fuck is that sheet? Hold on.
I
Where
kind of
is
want to
that
automate
sheet?
this sheet so as you made thing, it just makes the expense pop up, but
that's fine.
I don't have a chance to do that right now. I'm going to put little asterisks beside things that are important on column H.
Sure.
Continue.
Sorry,
So the things I've
which
listed here are barracks, training, arcane, religious, market, crafting, entertainment, armory, intelligence, advertising, propaganda, gambling, private functions, and stable.
Okay, so we need barracks, we need training, we need arcane, we need religious. Market would be... What would that entail? That would be buying and selling of stuff, I would assume.
Yep.
Would that be our own market internally to sell stuff? Like, would that be our gift shop, or...
No, you could probably make money being a merchant, basically, if you had high market.
Okay,
And-
so
and-
this is the
and
ability to
make money, but it's also to buy
We
and
sell
sell.
T-shirts.
Like
Well, selling t-shirts are,
how much
you know.
how much influence do you have in like the marketplace? It's like, oh, we need
Okay.
a billion bushels of grain. Well, yeah, okay.
All right. Well, so here's kind of what I'm thinking, guys. Because like 100 is a lot, and 1 for 1 die, we should have at least 1 die in everything.
Yes,
Yes, absolutely.
And then 2 in the ones we really care about, and a couple of
Fighting
things.
merch table. Exactly.
So
So market is like a lower priority one. Crafting would
I
be
agree.
relatively high priority.
Armory
Armory.
should be relatively.
sorry,
Armory-
I
armory's
can't find this
relatively
tab. I'm just gonna use
high
this.
priority.
So your facility is already at 1. Like you have a facility. It's pretty much 2 empty buildings,
Okay.
and it has a
The-
stable. So there you
For
go.
intelligence gathering, I would say intelligence gathering is important, although that's because I'm focused on it. Or do you think
Are the
that's a
4
secondary one?
hold on? Are the 4 gladiators here already?
No,
fine.
they
Or
said
not.
that they're
They're
in the city.
protecting
They're in the city. They're protecting the master's gift. You haven't actually signed the contracts away. You guys are trying to figure out, okay, how do we spend this money?
Yep. So I think, so if I'm looking at like advertising, propaganda, intelligence, and gambling, I would say intelligence is the most important of those.
I would agree of those 3.
And then
Private-
stable,
Private
unless,
functions, is that like throwing parties? And
Yeah, having the facilities in order to throw private venues.
is intelligence my torture dungeon,
Uh,
or
torture dungeon probably is a separate thing. So having a dungeon, like an actual like
Dungeon
a
is probably
prison,
a
a
thing.
dungeon is probably
Draw
a
a lot of
different thing.
cocaine.
So here's a
Alright.
dungeon.
I,
Not
I-
that
I
kind of
just-
Dungeons and Dragons, Marty. Not that kind of Dungeons and Dragons.
I like Joe Rogan. He's cool.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he cool.
Get Joe Rogan to comment to commentary on the fights. Joe Rogan. All right. So a stable. I don't know if we have to upgrade the stable unless we're planning on going nuts. I don't know how many animals we're planning on.
I think that's. Maybe we should like save some to find out where we're gonna go with this. If we
Right.
find
Well,
out, okay, we're
so if
animal centric. Yeah, we're gonna have to upgrade the stable.
Wait,
Well,
is that 7
right now,
total?
right now we've spent 15,000
All right, so
or 15 of the 100. Right. So
I'm saying, at most, let's spend 80, save 20, and see where
Now,
we're
your
going.
money you can also buy gladiators with.
yes.
Oh well, then okay.
So, and the gladiators are about 1 talent per hit die, is what I was
Yep.
told. Okay.
Plus
So if
NPC
we-
gear. Like, plus the value of the gear that you want them
Plus
to
the
have.
value of the gear. So it's if we're,
That gets pretty expensive pretty quick.
yeah.
So
I think we
is
should be spending
everything a
50,
+1?
assuming we're going to be spending the 50 on gladiators.
Okay.
All right.
Is everything a +1 at least?
No. We've got a stable and a barracks right now.
Stable and a barracks, and
Get the
that
Ginsu.
costs us 2,000.
No, that cost us 15.
It costs us 0. It's already there.
Yeah, we've spent 15.
Okay,
so far.
okay. Oh, sorry. What I'm saying is we're putting a 1 in everything.
Right. So we can do
Right,
that
okay,
right now,
good.
and I'll make the tally because I think everybody
Yeah.
agrees that that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now, what does that mean in
Oh,
terms
so
of
that's
game
12.
though? Like, so let's say
We get
we have a 2 marshal.
You get a roll.
Yep.
So we've
Oh,
got 12,
shit.
12 spent. Our barracks can hold how many people? Because I assume that's the main function of the barracks.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Then
you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
need-
say we should look.
We'll say a barracks of one.
I have a different idea.
You can
Well,
you can
it's
hold double the number of people that your barrack score is at.
Oh shit, we gotta up that big time.
So we need.
Let's make it a barracks of 1 is 4, a barracks of 2 is 8, 12, 16.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so-
we need a barrack score of 4.
And then
Let's go-
and then your guards
Yeah.
as well, right?
Yeah.
It's security.
Yeah. Is that security or do they stay in the barracks?
So I was thinking more
Oh,
like the barracks
regardless,
are
it's the same
for the gladiators. So you probably need a security column.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make this 13.
But does it have to be as expensive?
No, the security they don't have to live at your ludus. They could just go there to like to go to work basically.
Yeah. And if you think about like this is I don't know about the seasonal expense column. Right now we're buying the facilities. I don't know what the upkeep is on the facilities. All right. So we're at
yeah,
13.
Okay,
You probably
you
want to
wanna hear
boost your
my 2
facility to
cents?
2 or 3.
We probably need to turn and take
My
the
2
barracks to a
cents on
3.
all of this,
Yeah.
guys. My 2 cents on all of this is
Well, let's
if we're going up against just dice, we should really have one kick-ass something.
no.
Like we are known for fucking
Yeah,
this.
but we don't know
and
what
have
it's gonna-
something that's really good. Right, that's the
Alright.
problem. We
Yeah,
don't know what that
it's
is.
gonna be. So
Okay, I'm assuming you want personnel to maintain and do all of these things.
yes.
Okay, is there a cost to the personnel?
Yep, 1 per.
Oh shit.
Okay, so one. Now the masters, do they count? Oh, that'd be the master column. All right.
Yeah, the master is actually what you're doing during that block of time. So Magnus training people would be like a 3 in the
Right.
column.
Okay. All right. So we're currently spent 2833. By
Okay,
going
so you-
facility 3 to house the people.
Yep.
Does so the personnel for the barracks would add to like the barracks score if we had some sort of like rats are in your barracks, roll against the rats type
Yeah,
event.
yeah, exactly. You've got people that show up to maintain the barracks and keep it clean and that sort of thing. Training, you could go without a personnel if you think that you guys could be the trainers, but that's time away from the things that you are doing.
Yeah, and we're
Arcane,
over
same thing. Like if Phineas is the only arcane dude, then he may not need personnel.
It is a very cheap way to get, and the personnel and the master combine,
Yep.
right? They stack.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah, we
this
can
is the
get
most
rid of that.
cost-effective way to get more dice, as I can see.
Yeah, no, yeah, do it, dude.
All right. So this equals the sum of this. All right, so we're at 33. We can upgrade a few more things.
Okay, so
I think we should upgrade the armory.
agreed.
Okay, so if this goes to a 2, then I add a 2,000 here.
Drake, we're gonna be doing downtime soon.
I think we should upgrade training.
Upgrade training.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll upgrade training to a 2.
Once we're set up, we figure out the cycles of downtime, and yeah, it's pretty pimp.
I
Yeah,
think
I-
crafting,
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
because crafting saves you money.
Yeah, it ends up being you're gonna save. More
I do
than
pass out a lot, Ziggy.
in the long run. Gambling makes you money if you do it well.
Yes, although Adam is risk adverse by nature. I don't know if people have noticed. I like sure things.
Right. So how much wealth are you down?
39,000 or 39 talents so far spent.
And we haven't spent anything on gladiators yet.
The plan is to save 50 for gladiator purchases and gear,
Yeah.
or 50 for other stuff. Although the number of gladiators we need to purchase, we're going to get 4 new gladiators on top of the 3 we already have. That gives us 7 gladiators. We're going to need to get
And
least
we've only
8
got room
more.
for 12.
Oh, well, I guess we only have room for 12. So we probably don't need 50 to buy gladiators.
True.
Yeah, Marty, if you want to use J7 is our current just tally of how much we're spending.
Okay.
I kind of want to increase our security, but that might not be important for a bit. I mean, we've got Magnus, and I think Magnus, when he's not doing anything, is
I don't think it's going to be important until we've made a name for ourselves.
yeah.
So
All them horsehead motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You do have an important prisoner that
we send them a
ended
note.
up
Got
in
any
the
more
basement.
horse heads?
Does the important prisoner, does that oh, that will be bad if he escapes. Do those dudes count as something, or are they like not staying, the guards?
if the security had a fight against a 6th level dude, they get 1 die. The 6th level dude would get 6.
One hit dive warrior.
Okay.
Damn it. All right.
There are 2 guys that have been provided by the Grand Duke that may be able to keep him safe.
Right. Okay. But that'd be the person. No, we'd have 2 dice because we have 1 for facility and 1 for personnel.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the right man catchers and locks and that sort of thing, and then you've got some 1-hit die guards that are part timers.
All right. Mark, what are you thinking? Ahmed, what are you thinking?
I really need to see the link to the sheet because I'm watching
It's
it on.
under Dread and Circus stable. Conclave of the Crimson Sands. It'll have to be renamed, obviously. In this stable.
Honestly, if that's the case, we got to keep this guy alive. He's got to die in the stable. I'd say
Thank you.
even put another 5 in there right now.
So make it a 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So we
All
are
right,
very
there we
secure.
go.
You have very secure facilities.
Facility.
Yes. We've got locks and shit.
Hey, did you want me to put an equation for the cost?
It's already there.
Oh, okay. Edit. There we go. Thank you, sir. Now I can see what the fuck's going on. Woo.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you keep filling out that row, it'll keep adding. All right, so we've got 6 more to spend to get to 50, and if we think that we don't need 50, we could spend a little bit more on facilities.
Or personnel. You can always.
Or
raise
we could upgrade the personnel to, like for
this
security.
represents
we could actually,
this represents higher level dudes and better equipped, more professional.
So for security, Mark, do you want to actually just do a 2 in security and a 2 in security personnel?
Yeah, I mean, Well,
Or
yeah.
because that'll like cost a little bit less in the long
Yes,
run.
we'll do it that way.
Marty, is it possible to get an idea?
I gave
of
them a
the level?
spreadsheet, Drakester, with 100 imaginary things, and look at them have fun, go through the spreadsheet, and yeah.
Marty,
Spreadsheets.
yeah, I love this shit. Marty, is it possible to get an idea of the levels that other ludises have?
Yeah, you'd have to either
Intelligence.
in game go and spy on them, or have an intelligence roll.
Okay. Now religious. If we put
Yeah.
money into a religious personnel, can he provide healing?
Yes, your religious
Bolo's our healer.
is also your medicus.
A worthwhile purchase.
So I'm thinking a level 3 religious giving us 2d6 channel positives
Yep.
would be a really, really useful thing.
This also totals against like, oh, one of your guys got badly injured. Does your
Yes.
medical dude is he able to save the dude? Or
We do not have a Ductor master. We don't have a master of Ductoring.
Nope.
Oh, sorry, that should not be a 3. That should be there's a 5. That should be a 3.
Okay, so let's see.
All right, so we're at 48 spent.
structure is freedom. And Big Boss just wants to fight something. Yeah, this ended up not being a very fighty episode.
He was like, "Oh, my cultists are going to lay this trap that's going to spring." It's like they roll. Goddamn, my cultists! They can't trap nothing. Okay, now what else?
Yeah, Arcane Eye is a 3rd level. I think they're 4th. They're on the verge of being 4th level themselves.
Okay.
So can we put myself as training or martial training and security?
You'll move around and you do 1 per turn.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Which
that's
is
cool.
part of the reason why we upped our security. We do have some extra, so we could put more into security if we want. Mark,
Yeah.
our dungeon. We've got security, which is people breaking into our house, and then we actually have the dungeon itself.
Yeah, we can upgrade the dungeon things.
Okay. All I'm
We'll
saying
physically
is,
turn the dungeon into a level 2 dungeon.
I have a question. If we're spending 3,000 to cash out on 3,000.
No. Listen, it's not just cashing out on 3,000. If he doesn't die in the arena, it's our fucking heads.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You could also
And this
fight him to make money.
That's the plan. Yeah.
It's also not like this is money
He
that you can
lives
just go and buy an
He
island.
lives for a year less a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I think we're at a good point where you've spent a bunch of money. Feel free to like fiddle with this a little bit more. It looks like you've spent 40 so far, and you've got 60 left. So we'll say a week early winter.
Spent 50.
You spent 50? Okay. A week in early winter, you begin like ordering things, and a lot of money is exchanging hands. Qued shows up a few times to check in on things. When one day when you guys are like I guess arguing, what was the last thing you guys bought?
We were arguing over whether or not to upgrade the dungeon.
Oh, okay. So was Magnus for the dungeon?
Magnus was against the dungeon.
Okay.
No, I was thinking out loud. I was neutral on it.
Why don't we just kill the guy and get it over with? We don't have to upgrade this place.
Fucking put him in the pit.
You hear Qued clearing his throat, and there was a flash from a nearby room, and you can hear the heavy, like wooden shoe footfalls coming towards you. Clogs, I guess, is what they're
Somebody's
called.
wearing clogs.
Oh no, it's the Dutch! Run!
The Dutch are here.
Shit is quite uncomfortable.
Let me just get Vogel's miniature. The creepy man with clogs. Vogel.
Now, is Vogel actual nobility or?
Yep. He was called a baron.
Okay.
Which makes him low nobility.
But still a lord.
But still a lord.
Which map?
I'm trying to find his token. You
He was
spoke
on
to
the.
you spoke to Vogul in the last campaign, didn't you, Mark?
The last
When
a
the
couple
last time
games
we were
ago,
here. Yeah. There he is.
It meets your cray.
And in the first couple of weeks that you've been here, Akka has been following Ashoka around.
Ashoka makes certain Akka has physical. He gets to see blood. He gets booze. Things are primal, and things are kept good on the up and up.
Phineas
Treated well.
suggests to you after a couple of days to ensure that your new friend has the proper papers to not be chained up, lest he be taken away.
Akka, Magnus, you've heard complaints that your other gladiators don't like Akka.
Because
he's a psycho.
There's been some posturing, we'll call it, in the gladiatorial ludus, and Akka sleeps on the far side of the room from the rest of the gladiators.
Phineas is going to craft a workplace harassment and violence policy.
No.
I am posting this, and these words mean something, people.
Okay, so you hear this. Thank you, Qued. It is good to finally get to see these young masters hard at work. What was the topic of consternation? As this creepy man with his midnight black robe, he's got clogs on, which maybe makes him sound more imposing than walking down stone hallways. Qued is like nervous.
Ashoka will give a very deep bow.
As will Phineas following suit, because Ashoka is pretty keen on these sorts of
Okay.
things.
Akka looks to Ashoka and is surprised to see Ashoka bowing so deep, so he actually just drops his head.
Magnus does the same kind of like, oh, my helmet almost fell.
I hope you're settling in here nicely. It is a rather smaller place than the Imperial City.
It will do wonders, Mr. Krakenstein.
Lord.
God.
Baron is my official imperial title, although I have much higher pursuits. It is sometimes better to have a lower title and have people ignore you while you pursue your projects.
Your work with, and whatever the hell magic he's known for working for, is very impressive. I read your treatise on.
Yeah, give me a knowledge arcana to see if you're going to impress him with name
Something
dropping
of his I've read, or...
yeah, things that he've.
Ashoka's just happy that he thinks the same way he does, where it's like, no, you're a snake in the grass, just waiting for the right opportune time. It's perfect.
I'm pretty sure I know his... Come on, you. Knowledge Arcana or Spellcraft?
Either or, whichever's higher.
Alright.
For you, it would be knowledge.
Yes.
Von Brainenstein.
Did you
Knowledge
get
Arcana.
that issue 39 where he was featured?
His voice is so fun to do, by the way.
Yeah.
27?
Ah, yes, one of my older treaties. I was very young at the time that I made that discovery. It is most difficult. Even more difficult than actually doing magic is to understand the theories of magic. Isn't that right, Qued? Yes, Master. Indeed. I named him as a little private joke.
What is the joke?
At the end of a proof, you write QED.
Very funny. It's very funny.
Silence.
Of course.
Ashoka was not laughing. Like,
For
the
those of
chuckle
you
heads.
who thought he was a toady before, in front of this man, he's a total lackey. Like, yes, sir, yes.
I look forward to you progressing your craft. I hear that you've debased your own skin with magic tattoos. Know that if you want to gain an audience with a witch who is renowned at tattoo magic, you should go and visit her. She knows that you are here. In fact, I have several experiments on several gladiators.
Really?
If you require mercenaries, if you have any money left after all this activity, there are some that might be willing to help you. There is a death monk, a fire-wielding ifrit, and a gluttonous boggart.
A gluttonous boggart?
Boggart, the bullywug, very tough frog creature.
Oh, he's tough. I see. Okay.
Ashoka. And Magnus, I was most impressed with your martial exploits. Yes, Corsican blood is known to be strong blood.
We're growing stronger. Me, the other masters, and the gladiators. The honor will be passed, and you will be very impressed with our performances. Look forward to it.
First, I suppose we'll get rid of the business that is required. I have not had you sign in blood yet. Qued, can you put out the contract? You three will be responsible for this ludus and its success or failure.
It shall not fail you.
If it should fail, then you will owe me a tremendous amount of money.
Magnus is like, I got 20,000 dollars right here.
But it is not only for money that I am in this business. It is for prestige. It is for getting around annoying laws that keep a wizard from doing what he needs to be done. Look over the contract and sign. And Qued puts out this big document, and there's a little, like, butter knife and a place for you to stamp your, or kind of
Qued,
bleed.
where is that clause you spoke of? Where success is defined and the contract can be rendered null and void?
Oh, yes, Master. They asked about... Oh, yes. I expect nothing less than an studious sort. What would you like me to pen in as the contract?
Perhaps a return sum for your investment?
I think we should make this contract for 10 years. And I will promise to pay you a seasonal stipend And after 10 years, we will renegotiate for extension of said contract.
How about a 4-year contract? And he's kicking it. Ashoka, like, help me out here. Like,
Ashoka, how long do Nagaji live?
They're like humans.
Like humans?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, we'll say
See-
half elves.
See, here's the thing: wizards and alchemists, you guys are gonna age well because your skills get better. Barbarians and fighters.
The problem with only a 4-year contract is that it will not be old enough yet.
We need to see through the development of the ludus.
wait, I think he speaks of our special gift. Is that so, Master?
Yes. Yes.
Perhaps we should see it before we make any hasty plans, gentlemen.
I need you to sign this contract. If you do not sign it, I will find someone who will.
Ashoka.
Get out of my
signed
way!
the contract.
Yep. All right. You notice that it's a 10-year contract, and effectively you're responsible for the 100,000 if this place goes tits up.
That's fine. I'll sell Magnus.
All right. You do slice you do slice your finger in blood and kind of basically put your thumbprint and blood onto a little box beside your name. The Qued will write your name if you can't yourself.
Oh, not retarded.
Okay, Magnus, you make your mark.
Yep. Sign it.
Okay.
What's the knife made out of?
Silver.
Okay. Ashoka does wipe his blood from it before giving it
Okay.
to the...
Magnus can start reading.
Well, Phineas, I'm sure your education was quite expensive. How about I sweeten the pot for you? Each season you can learn a spell of my choosing from my spell book.
I would be honored.
Okay.
Thank you for your generosity.
Qued quickly scrawls in an additional clause.
And Phineas gives his thing, and like Ashoka wipes his blood because
Right.
he knows what that happened.
Now, would you like to meet Zargon?
I certainly would.
You see, and he claps his hands, and you notice that there are soldiers in the other balcony area that are kind of coming in, and they're wielding in this really large caged wagon, and there's a box inside the cage. There are chains everywhere. Also, some more gladiators show up, and these are your 3 other gladiators, which we'll roll up in a minute. Let me find Zargon's miniature. While he continues to talk in his wonderful voice, the voice that will haunt your dreams.
Do you, Magnus, take this snake man?
In the same way that the Imperium does not suffer kings, so too are dragons despised by the inner circle. Imperial dragon hunting permits allow one to hunt an adult dragon. You see, there are still dragons left here on Tarak, even though that the laws are from the other worlds. Our friend the captain did try to hunt a dragon, and he did so. The captain also found a dragon egg. I have procured this dragon from the captain at a great expense. While it will annoy many people, by keeping the dragon here, we will be able to grow it. Such a dragon grows upon the ashes of its victims. It requires much blood. It requires much meat. It even requires status and treasure in its hoard. But I am sure that you three will enjoy the prestige of being the only gladiator ludis that has a dragon.
Oh, certainly. Of course.
Yes.
You see, the ludis will allow me to have a dragon and allow me to feed it. This dragon is from a line of dragons that will not take long to grow, but it is a greedy creature. The more you feed it, the bigger it will get. It is from a line of horde mongers. It is from a line of great dragons. You see, Imperium are not the only ones that know how to use the song gates. And this great red dragon, creature of evil and chaos, has a long line. Its blood is important. Do not sacrifice this gift. You want to talk of failure? He points at Phineas. Failure will be to have this dragon die.
No, never.
We're going to need to dedicate some space.
Yes, you may not want to keep the dragon with other things. I do not know its temperament, and I do not care. You must establish yourselves as masters of this creature, or it will become the master of this place.
Ashoka is just thinking to himself, oh, I've got fire resistance. I need to learn Draconic and be this thing's friend.
I gotta find its token. I know we created the token. As you notice that they are taking out the Draco picks.
I speak Draconic.
Not after I steal the memory from your mind!
Oh, I got another way to create the token.
If we let you raise it, it's going to grow up to be neurotic.
My gold is not in proper piles. Just spend the next 100 years making piles. Even piles.
Sorting coins by
Sorting
shape
coins.
and diameter.
Gems
not
by
perfect.
color. And
Of course, now it's on the desktop, and I gotta minimize 1,000 windows to find it. There we go. Oh, it's tiny.
Every time you come home, flip it over, bite it.
All right, so you can see that the guards are like are taking off some of the chains, and the box rattles a little bit, and there's a little poof of flame. Let it out. the box collapses, and inside there's this, I don't know, like 2 foot long, reddish, red scaled dragon. It's got an impressive kind of crest of spines around its head. It immediately lashes out and burns one of the guards. The burning from the tiny dragon is incredibly impressive. The damage this thing does from its tiny breath weapon is 2d8.
Oh shit!
There's a guard running around in the night on fire, running around. No one's really moving to like help him. Yes.
There's water over in the well. Jump in the well. You go pull him out of the well.
Aren't you an impressive little fellow?
He is very impressive. I will tell you more about him when you need to know more about him. For now, he must be fed, he must drink blood, he must learn to kill and to survive. But he also must be known because it is behind the law of the ludis that I am keeping him.
Phineas,
Yes.
you still have plans for the red uniforms, yes?
I do. I am sure I can make some minor adjustments.
We might be the Crimson Scale.
I was thinking that exact thing. Great
Magnus?
minds, my friend, great minds.
Ahmed, you are muted if you've been talking for a while.
Still muted.
You're out of batteries, dumbass. Ha! Cables! Get cables!
Qued looks like
Cables.
he's frightened of the dragon as the dragon breathes again, just in the general directions of the soldiers. Oh!
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Interconic, Phineas
There we go.
leans down. And what is your name?
Oh, mother. I back away from I get to the other side, not of the. What's the fucking guy's name?
Vogul?
Aka, Vogul?
Yeah, Vogel. I back away from Vogel and I pull the sword out. I'm like, "Hey, little guy, come here!" And I got the flame on the sword going.
The little guy is still in the he was in a box inside one of the slave cages. He might be able to fit out, but it looks like he's got like his back legs chained, so he's flapping around this cage, sticking his head out through the bars and breathing on fire. Phineas wandered forward and is saying, "What's your name?" in Dragon, and Magnus is stepping forward with a flaming sword. Give me an opposed charisma check to see who gets the thing's attention
Okay.
first.
Oh boy. Whoa. Fall for Magnus.
5.
Okay, it stops.
One over here.
It stops for a moment. It cocks its head. It's like looking at Phineas.
Sargon. I am Phineas.
It breathes again in the vicinity of the guards. The guards are like trying to sneak up on it, and then it looks up at the flaming blade, and it can't get up there. It tries to flap, and it's flopping around in the cage, and it can't get up to Magnus, so it lands again.
Oh no.
We're
Don't
friends,
burn the
you and I.
gods.
Do you understand me, little dragon?
Ashoka is going to grab a small bowl.
Yep.
Do you
He's going to
understand?
go
it?
to Aka.
Well, you can prevent force fire. Excellent.
Have Aka cut himself and bleed into the bowl.
Okay, he cuts his hand and bleeds into the bowl. Give me this fierce look while he's doing it.
Ashoka will give him a nod, and we'll now go to the guy called Zargon.
Okay, so you go all the way down.
Look, we've got a treat for you.
Give me a charisma check as you're trying not to get burned.
Okay, I'm not overly scared of getting burned, but I will. I'm not trying to get burned on purpose.
Everyone's talking to it from like the veranda, like the
I'm
ledge
coming right
above,
down.
and Ashoka wanders right up to the cage.
27. Assuming the circle of charisma helps the charisma checks, which it does. Circle of charisma. There we go. Who's a good little guy?
He begins drinking up the blood.
Man blood.
Much more in the future. I don't know what he's. I didn't know he said man blood, but
Yep.
Ziggy's like, yes, I want apple juice. Ah!
Man blood, he says as he looks at the other soldiers that are obviously afraid of him.
Yes, not theirs though. Not theirs.
Yeah,
They will be feeding you.
I like this dragon.
Them, you won't get fed.
Magnus drops down. He's behind
Okay.
Ashoka.
Jumps down with his flaming sword.
Yeah, he's behind Ashoka. I like you. We'll burn our enemies. You'll feed. You'll grow. You'll be powerful.
Ashoka's gonna step out of the way in case. Just if there, it's gonna be more like one of these.
Yep.
To the side in case Magnus gets burned. He just doesn't want to be in the line of fire.
He snorts fire at your sword.
Yeah. Magnus shoots a ray into the sky.
What did we say about scorching rays in the house?
We're outdoors. We are outdoors. We're outdoors. Let's be cool about this.
He then sticks his head out of the bars and breathes straight up. He hits a 15-foot cone that comes out a little guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I like this dragon.
Sargon the Terrible, Sargon the Red, Sargon the Destroyer of Worlds.
Well, let's get you a few matches in the arena first.
Oh, why is that name familiar?
Sorry, I know. So he's just trying like, it sounds familiar.
Wait a sec. What?
Look, he didn't name it a Shimmernax, so we're okay.
No, isn't this the one that... What was the name of the guy who was like... that Gel really, really hated and tried to kill?
Oh, it could have been Zar?
Might have been Tsar. I'm pretty sure it started with... Anyways.
Gone? With a D?
Ashoka is going to go fetch a clean rag and some wine and bring it to Akka.
Okay. Akka, he just wrapped up his hand. Big warrior like that. Not worried about... He was looking like with wide eyes that you're feeding the dragon his blood. He might be a little more afraid of Ashoka at this point in time. Yes, he is from a powerful line of dragons. It is a curious thing that his bloodline is in so many worlds, is what he's saying to Phineas.
One of his parents was especially prolific.
Yeah.
Likely the male.
Yes, and one of his line is very blessed. And of a concern to the Imperium. This dragon will grow. If you feed it and foster its nature, it will grow large and fast.
I'm sure we can find an adequate supply of food, and
Yes.
anyone can foster its nature. It's Magnus. They seem to get along nicely.
I'm sure dragons are going to need much more than a warrior bashing a sword against his scale. Dragons are very impressive sorcerers as well.
Of course, they
And this one might even have the capacity to learn other things as well. Up to you three on how you train it.
We shall raise it with the utmost love and compassion as we would our own child. More so, our destructive, powerful little child. He's just like absolutely entranced with the dragon.
Good.
Yeah.
I am glad that you three are happy with my charge. You are the dragon's wards now. Enjoy the time that you will have with it. And I suggest that you keep your fingers inside and not in the cage.
Of course.
What's Qued doing?
Quivering in fear of the dragon.
Yeah.
Ashoka's going to go stand beside Qued,
Okay.
put his hand on his shoulder.
I've heard stories of great dragons slaughtering whole worlds of my people.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
They ate you up real quick.
One can only hope.
They whisper of one. A dragon so big that he eats worlds and became a god.
Ashoka gives a bit of a smirk. Keep those stories quiet. We wouldn't want those worshipping the five faces getting concerned, would we?
They're already concerned.
Says Quid.
It'll be interesting seeing how big of a target we've just painted on our backs.
Yes, that is why I've chosen the likes of you.
We're gonna have to raise our security quite a bit.
I see that this is well received, as much as I would like to hang here and bask in the dragon's glory. I must attend to other archwizard business.
Of course.
All hail to the undying emperor.
All hail.
And he does like a Roman salute.
Excuse me, Magnus does a bow, very deep bow. Catches his helmet.
Glad will remain in the city for a time. He likes the dragon, doesn't he? No, he does not. As Baron von Krakenstein basically taps his clog. Dragon Lord 256, thanks for the follow. Cool name. He taps one of his clogs and just disappears. You can roll a spellcraft check if you want.
He cast an invisibility spell.
And he's clocking around.
26.
Yeah, 26. He cast. Nope, you don't know what complicated teleport he cast.
Oh God.
And that is what the stream rolled. When we rolled randomly to see what type of gladiator would come over, I'm like, no, this has to have more story, like, oomph to it. But little Sargon, the little 2-hit die dragon right now, if fed properly, will grow large, and maybe larger than they can handle.
Is Mr. Krakenstein considered a silent partner in this business?
He is a baron, first off. Second, yes, he is a silent partner. He has he took the contracts with us, but he has a company that holds the contract, and he is majority owner of that company.
Phineas,
Yes.
stop using his name in public. Magnus, could you come up here for a moment?
Magnus is like the dragon's trying to eat the end of the fiery sword right now, and he's like playing with the dragon.
Magnus.
Yeah. I'm coming.
Okay, you turn around.
I'll see you later, dragon.
The dragon gets annoyed that you're not playing with it anymore, and it breathes on you.
This motherfucker!
It wanted to keep on playing. Reflex save DC. I haven't chosen its stats yet. We'll call it 14.
We'll see how that shit goes.
Hilarious. He comes up, he's got like a little patch of furry hair. Right now, Magnus is the dragon mount, as in the dragon mounts him.